So, Caspar, do you think we are alone in the universe?
No, personally, I don't think we're alone in the universe. The universe is very big. There's a lot of planets, very many planets, very similar to ours probably. So we're not alone. No, there might be very many kind of forms of life forms. Some might be intelligent, some might be bacteria or animals and stuff like that. But there's definitely life in some way or another.
I would agree. Saying is there life in the universe? That's actually not narrowing it down.
No.
Saying there's intelligent life in the universe, that's like looking after a needle in a haystack for us, because our technology is not that big. To put it in,
and we know there's life in the universe. There's us.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's life in the universe. Yeah.
But is there all life in the universe? And that's the question. To put things in perspective, we have not even looked our own planet 100% through, so we cannot even say what species are living.
We can't even start to comprehend the universe really, because we don't even know our own planet.
We cannot even.
We haven't even seen our own blue parts of the planet. You know, the seas. We haven't even gone that deeply. There's a lot of races on Earth we have never seen before, really. Yeah. So how can we even begin to think about the universe?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So we cannot comprehend our own planet. So how can we comprehend the universe? So the next question is, where are they? We don't know. We have a lot of theories who are saying, they live in the Neptune galaxy, 5 stars from the right. That is bullshit.
Just go left and you will get there.
we don't know. So do they know where we are? That's the question. That's the hard question. Yes, my view is some races do know where we live.
Well, according to the Blue Planet Project, the human species has been in contact with 160 alien species, give or take.
Yeah.
So they definitely know where we are, but 160 species is not that many really. No. That might be millions or billions different kind of species. But what we know of, or at least according to this Blue Planet Project that we will talk more about in this show, a lot of them knows about us and planet Earth.
Yeah. There's roughly 800 billion stars in the Milky Way galaxy. Then try to think universe. That's just, I cannot even start to think about it because I will get nightmares. Yeah. So of course there are some kind of intelligent life in the universe.
Yeah.
So what is their advanced technology? If they have been here before, where are they as a species? Well, in my kind of view, they have the technology to spend time in space, because the travel should not take 100 years.
Even if they could travel with the speed of light, it will take them years to get here, and they probably don't have that long. So they probably have some other kind of travel, some other kind of technology that we can't even comprehend. Something where you can bend space and use like a wormhole to travel. So that is probably their advance in technology.
Yeah,
their biggest advance.
Or they could clone themselves. So they do not care about time, because it would just be another version of them visiting us in some way.
They would actually, if they could travel the speed of light, or maybe slower than that, they would have to use some kind of a cloning process.
Yeah.
Unless they could live forever, and they probably can't. We'll actually talk about that later.
Yeah, we will. But that's actually just to shorten. Are we alone in the universe? No, we are not, because it's just stupid to think that. And I'm not saying people that think we are a little bit unique snowflake in the world. We are not. We are not.
I actually think people have a tendency to think that we are so unique as a species. Many years ago, we actually thought that Earth was the center of the universe, right?
Yeah.
So we are very egoistic in that way.
We are hindering our own process.
Yeah, in a way. I think it's just now that we're beginning to understand, well, we might just be a very small piece of the whole puzzle.
I agree.
So we might not be that important as we think we are.
No. So let's say that's that about this topic, and let's move on to the next topic. If what the aliens are like as a species, and let's take it from there. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. What do we think the aliens are as a species? Well, Casper, let's start with the Greys, that they have been seen the most. So come with
the Greys is actually a very interesting species. Every time you hear from adoptees, they always talk about these grey humanoids.
Yeah.
Big heads, dark eyes, very long neck, and have this humanoid species, but they aren't really that tall, really. So that is the ones you hear about the most. And according to the Blue Planet Project, there's actually two kinds of Greys. The one that is telepathically, and the one that can speak. And one of those are actually very evil. They have some kind of evil intent towards the human species, and the other are very human-like. They have morals and stuff like that. So that is the Greys, or at least what we think we know about them.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Is the talking alien or the telepathic alien that are?
Yeah, that is actually the thing I can't remember. But I believe, if I remember correctly, that it is the telepathic aliens that is the evil one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes a lot of sense. So
I don't know if it makes a lot of sense, but they are very different from us, really.
Maybe they have
a more logical way of thinking.
Yeah. I will then talk about the Nordics.
Yeah.
The Nordics is what we would call today as an ancient alien. They have maybe been here before. The reason the theories are there is because we have had to have help to create the pyramids. That cannot just come out of the blue. They have maybe tried to guide us in the past and seen, well, we are hindering their process as a species, so let's just leave and talk to them later. As a species, they are a lot like humans because they are our ancient ancestors in many ways, shape, or form. So it could be that they have planted us here to see if they could create themselves on another planet without giving too much information. They are neutral to humans, saying that they want our best interest, but they don't want to interfere. They don't want us dead because that would just be stupid. But if it should happen, it would not be devastating to them in any way, shape, or form. But they want to keep in touch in any way possible, just to see how good we are progressing as a species. And if you should talk about the reptilians, what are they then?
Yeah, what are the reptilians? Well, you might even not consider them aliens.
No.
Apparently they have been on Earth just as long as humans, or maybe even longer than that. They are these reptile kind of creatures, humanoids as well. So what we know about them, well, we don't know that much really. They might be able to look like humans, can camouflage themselves. That is their racial ability. You might call it that. Yeah. Yeah, they can communicate with us. They speak the human language. At least that's what the theory says. So I believe that is what we know about them.
Yeah.
Do we know any more, really?
Not really. The far-fetched theories are saying they want to
take over the world, right?
Yeah. Of course. And we don't believe that.
Yeah.
But
some of these high officials, like the presidents and stuff like that, they can actually be reptilians, and we wouldn't even know about it. So they might be this very advanced species in disguise. Yeah, and we see them in the newspaper and everywhere. But that is just a theory. I don't believe that.
No, neither do I. Then we come to the last main race, and that's the Arcturians. And we know not much about them, all that the theory says they are this species that have created the vastest empire in the universe. They are what we will call chaotic.
They have dominance over the universe.
They have not over the universe, but our galaxy.
Yeah, galaxy, yeah, of course.
But what are their goals? We don't know, but they want to keep the Milky Way neutral as much as possible. They should not like war.
So they don't have any evil intent.
They don't have any evil intent, but they don't have any good intent either. So what is the main story about them? Well, they should be the reason why the Greys are here. Because they have destroyed the Grey Empire and stopped their evolution. Because the Greys are maybe evil. Or some of them are. So what we call maybe the talking Greys should be maybe a lesser evolution of the Greys that are evil. I don't know. But the Arcturians anyways have not actually visited Earth. But they are in communication with people with clairvoyance abilities. Or so the theory says.
Okay. Clairvoyance, like they can contact.
They can contact
the spirits.
No. They can contact humans with thoughts and.
Okay, so it is some kind of telepathic ability.
Yeah.
Okay.
In some way, so they can sit in X planet and talk to a human lady on Earth.
Okay, so they can actually communicate over a vast distance.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they just want us.
Can they manipulate us as well?
I don't think so. But the message has been that they just want peace, and they want us to know that they want us to evolve as a species. But I actually don't think they want to, because what we are is a swarm in many ways, shape, or form. Right now, our numbers is limited because we cannot leave the planet.
But if you could leave the planet, we would actually have the potential to multiply many times.
Of course. Yeah. So what they maybe have in technology, we could fast have in numbers.
Yeah.
So that's the Arcturians. So what
do they look like? Do we know that?
The pictures has been human-like, humanoids like any other alien.
Yeah.
But they have a large head. Just say if something rings a bell, like the brain.
Do they look like the ones you see on Easter Island?
Actually, yes.
Okay, so they are the ancient aliens.
Maybe
aliens.
Maybe. Yeah. So if should take the path of our race, the theories are that they are the ancient aliens before the Nordic, and the Nordic is their offspring, and we are the Nordic's offspring, and that's why if we are in trouble, we could contact the Nordic, and the Nordic contact the Arcturians that would then deal with the problem.
Yeah, but the Arcturians go way further back than any other alien race.
Not necessarily, no. But if they are our ancestors, they have also the numbers, and that's why if we are alike, they have our strengths as well as our weaknesses. If we do have weakness, we die as anything else.
If we look at all these species, what are the most technological advanced species of them all?
The Arcturians.
Yeah, I would say that as well.
And that's why any other alien race are fearing them in our Milky Way.
It's just not. It's not just the numbers; it's the technology as well.
Yeah, they have just evolved way beyond what we can.
They are kind of the peacekeepers of the galaxy, in a way.
In a way.
But they can slam hard if they needed to.
Yes. Yeah. And so that's the theory about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think it's that. Why are humans so interesting for the Greys? Why is that, Casper?
Yeah, the theory is that the Greys are not able to multiply by having sex, really. They don't have any genitals.
Yeah.
So the only way they can do it is by cloning themselves.
Okay.
And we know that if you clone or if you copy a paper and you make a copy of a copy of a copy, it's get better and better and better.
Yeah.
Right? That is basically the same when you do it with DNA. Mm-hmm. So they need to find another way in order to keep their race going.
Okay.
So that is why they are so interested in humans, because they have developed this, technology so they can create hybrids.
Mm-hmm.
And by creating hybrids, they can, in a way, continue their race. Well, it's not exactly the same race. It might even be a better race, but it's still a race with a great DNA.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I would actually agree on that part. And the reptilians, what do they want with Earthlings? I actually think their point of view is they see us as food, if they exist.
Yeah.
I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it.
I think they think of themselves as being very superior to us.
And
they actually think that they should be dominating the world and not only the humans.
Yeah.
But they don't have the numbers.
And they are.
But they might have the intelligence and strength, but not the numbers.
Yeah. And that's
and they have to keep hiding themselves because if they went out in public, well, we will just look at them like animals. We will probably put them in jail or something like that.
Of course. And the last piece is, what do the Nordics want with humans? They just want us to succeed. They are interested in us, in our evolution, but nothing more than that. And that's why they haven't given us any technology to further our evolution, because they want us to do it on our own terms.
We need to learn our own mistakes. Learning by doing, right?
Right. And that's why
we have to evolve as a species, like they did. Yeah. But did they get any help at some point in their evolution?
I actually think they have been standing at the same bridge where we could go further or we could stop here. And every time they have gotten the decision, they have chosen to go further because they want to be at the same level as the Arcturians are. But that was maybe a mistake. They have maybe created some enemies like the Greys.
Yeah.
And that's why they want to warn us, stop doing this, because
it would actually be our benefit if we wasn't that technological advanced, because then we wouldn't be considered a threat, and we would not be that interested in the other aliens' eyes, right?
Yeah, correct.
So they actually think that we would benefit from developing slowly instead of fast, right?
Yeah. But humans are not like that. We want the newest technology yesterday. And that's why when the Grey came with an offer saying, well, you know what, you can get this, look at it. If you get something out of it, great. If not, well, bad shit. So that's why we are at the point we are today in many theories. The Grey want our DNA so they can reproduce, and we want their technology so we can reproduce on another planet. Which brings us to the next topic. How do we progress as a species? So how do we progress as a species? Well, the first thing we need to look at is how do we travel in space, and not saying the moon, but let's say Mars. How can we come to Mars? Kasper, do you have an idea?
Personally, no. But you talked about earlier today that you have read in the newspaper, or you heard it in the news, that they are building this machine. You actually can fly to Mars, and this machine can actually create an environment on Mars. It can basically create an ozone layer, and make Mars inhabited for humans.
Yeah, they want to create another.
It basically sounds too good to be true, but apparently this is within human reach.
Yeah. And that's correct.
Yeah.
We have come to this point that, okay, we have found bacteria on Mars, but we cannot find it here. So we need to create life on Mars, and making an ozone layer is just the first part. We want an Earth-like planet. So we don't care about we can create a Mars dinosaur or a Mars animal. We just want to create Earth-like.
We basically want to copy Earth just on Mars instead.
So what we are doing is terraforming a planet in some way, shape, or form.
Okay, yeah.
So that is actually Project Mars. So they are sending a little robot like...
not a little robot. I actually think it's pretty big.
I actually don't think it's much bigger than...
Do they only need that one robot, or do they need a lot of robots to create this?
I actually think it's going to be more than one, but they want to try it with one first and see how it goes.
You have read a lot about it. How long will it take for this robot to create this ozone layer around Mars?
I actually don't know, but the goal is that in the next 20 years we are living on Mars.
Okay.
So pretty fast, and I was actually thinking to myself, how can this be? Well, they are gene manipulating trees so they can grow faster. And maybe drop their seeds faster. They are gene manipulating animals so they can live on a planet that is different from theirs, and then they just go from there. They don't need much. They don't just need to survive. Have food on the planet, water on the planet, electricity on the planet, and nothing more. So getting a Once Upon a Time episode is not going to happen on Mars anytime soon. Do we already have technology? Well, yes, we do, because we have already sent an unmanned spacecraft up yesterday, destination Mars. And this is the new technology in our space program that should be less fuel, use less fuel, and be a lot faster. So the time has been diverted by 10. So instead of taking years, it will take months, for what I understand.
9 months, right?
It should be 9 months. So I'm actually looking forward to this, because before we know it, that could be actually a new Neil Armstrong on Mars, which I would actually say is mind-blowing. And then we can say, well, we haven't been on the moon, so why should we go on Mars if we should believe that?
I haven't been on the moon, but the moon is not that interesting really, because if we wanted to go on the moon, we could do it without problem.
Today, yes.
Today, yeah. But going to Mars, that is another deal.
Yeah,
that is really groundbreaking.
Yeah. So, do we know where the other alien races are, and do we know how to contact them? Let's shorten it down. I believe that if the Greys are here, they have blocked our signal to communicate with our races, because they don't want us to say we need help, because we are in shit to our necks. So that could also be a theory on Project Mars, because we need another planet to contact for help.
That this Project Mars is something they do in secret. Well, they will do it in secret because it's just announced publicly, right? But they might actually just build this environment on Mars to use this as a communication planet, to contact other alien species.
Like we have airports, that should be our little airport in many ways, shape, or form.
So all this regarding Mars, that we want to move to Mars and stuff like that, might just be a cover story. But the real purpose of this mission is something else entirely.
It could be.
It's just a theory. It's just something we talked about. But
it's actually a good theory, because the bigger plans we will come to in another episode, that the wide theories on what the alien want. But do we know how to contact them? And I actually think we already answered that question. But I actually think we have a communicated device to contact maybe the Nordics, or the good kind of Greys.
And it would be some kind of device that they have provided us with.
Of course.
Because if we wanted to contact them, we wouldn't have any piece of device that could do that, really.
No. Which leads us to the next problem, is how do we understand each other? And
do we speak the same languages? Well, on Earth we have more than 36 languages, right? But so how can they contact us, and how can we even understand each other? That's the big question.
So let's say they have just learned the main language on Earth, which is English. It's a language most people on Earth can understand. And in the future, I'm pretty sure it will be the only language left, because that empire had just spread its language like plague. So that's what is going to happen in the future.
The truth is, we have no idea how they are able to contact us, how they are able to communicate with us. We have no idea.
No.
They might be able to speak English. There might be a group of people who have learned to speak their language, or it might happen telepathically. by using some device, or maybe just it's just a racial ability. We have no idea. But if they can communicate telepathically, they don't necessarily need words to explain or tell you something. They can just show you in pictures. And maybe they can just put a thought in your head and you will be able to understand it without the need of words. And I think something like that might be possible.
I actually think it's more likely than any other theory that's out there. So I actually think we are going to round this topic off and say it's going to be this. And a future topic is going to be what the alien wants with us. Because we have talked a bit about the greys, that are good greys and bad greys. But we are going to talk about the abductees, and what their stories are, and if we believe them. And then we are going to talk about the origin story, the big theories about how it all began, why we are here today, and how we got the technology we have, because that is a subject for another episode. We could talk.
Did we create it ourselves, or did we reverse engineer it from somewhere? That's another topic.
Because we could talk literally
hours about it.
We could. And then we will talk about the conspiracy theory on why the greys want us as a hybrid species in the end. And it's not only for making alien babies, it has a larger scheme in mind. I actually think this is a good episode, so I would say thank you for a good chat, Casper.
You're welcome. And likewise.
And if you listeners have a good episode in mind, you can just make a comment down below or send us an email that is in the description below. If you like the episode, just press like. Remember to subscribe and favorite and share it to your friends so we can give a good following on extraordinary opinions.
Yes.
It's a hard word to say.
Extraordinary opinions.
It's the logo with the brain on. Great. Bye.